Let's run a quick one. You walk into a kickoff meeting, 8 people in the room. The lead says, let's go around and introduce ourselves. You're third. Go.
Hi, I'm Tom. I work in, well, sort of marketing, but also some operations. And I've been at the company for about 3 years. But before that, I was at... Sorry, what was the question again?
Oh no, you went into the swamp.
Okay, real talk. I have done exactly that multiple times. I either freeze or I list my entire career.
Right, and here's the thing. A good professional intro is 4 parts. Once you know the 4 parts, you can do it in any room, in any language, without freezing. Let's build it.
Okay, but wait. Before we build it, can I just say something? Because I think a lot of people listening right now have been in that exact moment. You're sitting there. You know it's coming. You're third. You're counting. And by the time it gets to you, your brain is just gone.
Completely gone. And the thing is, it's not because you don't know who you are. It's because you don't have a structure. You're searching in real time for what to say first, what to say next. And that search is what causes the freeze.
Right, exactly. It's not a language problem. It's a structure problem.
Exactly. And that's actually great news because once you have the 4 parts, the structure is already done. You just fill in your own information. So let's go through them one by one. Part 1, and this sounds obvious, but stay with me, is your name.
Okay, name. I can do that one.
You'd be surprised. So the rule here is first impressions get your full name. A meeting with new people, a conference, an email, you say, "Hi, I'm Tom Chen," or "I'm Sarah Novak." First name and last name together. In a casual or familiar setting, like a team stand-up where everyone already knows you, first name only is fine. "Hi, I'm Tom." Works perfectly.
So the full name is about first impressions. It's like you're giving someone something to remember. 2 words they can write down or look up later.
Exactly. A full name is a complete identity. And in a professional context, especially if you're not a native English speaker, saying your full name confidently is a strong first signal. It says, I know who I am and I want you to know too.
Hi, I'm Tom Harrington.
There you go. Clean, clear, confident. Okay, part 2. Your role. And this is where a lot of people go wrong.
Is this where they start listing everything they do?
That is exactly where they do that. I'm responsible for marketing and also content, and sometimes I help with operations, and I run the newsletter, and I manage 2 vendors. Stop. All of that is tasks. What people need is a label. One clean label that tells them your function.
So instead of listing what you do, you say what you are.
Right. I'm a marketing manager. I'm a product designer. I'm a data analyst. One phrase. The listener hears it and they immediately place you. They know where you sit in the organization and they know how to talk to you. That's the whole job of this part.
Got it. And if your title is something weird, like mine is technically Growth and Operations Coordinator, which means nothing to anyone outside our company?
Then simplify it. You can say, I work in growth and operations, or even just, I'm on the operations team. The goal isn't your official job title from your contract. The goal is the simplest phrase that helps the other person understand your function.
Okay, so I'm a Marketing and Operations Coordinator, or just I work in operations.
Either works. Pick the one that feels most true to what you actually do. All right, part 3, company. And this one has a small trick attached to it.
Oh yeah? What's the trick?
So the basic version is just company name. I'm a product designer at Figma. Easy. But this is the trick. If your company is not well known, you add a short descriptor right after the name, a "we help" sentence.
Wait, hold on. What if my company is small or unknown? Do I still mention it?
Yes, absolutely. You always mention it, but you help the listener understand it immediately. So instead of just saying at Northbeam and watching the person nod with no idea what that is, you say at Northbeam, we help e-commerce brands track their marketing performance. Now the person knows the name and what the company does. It's one extra sentence and it saves an awkward silence.
Oh, that's actually really smart because most people, especially if they're newer to the workforce or working at a startup, they either skip the company name because they're embarrassed no one knows it, or they say the name and then freeze because they don't know how to explain it.
Exactly. And the we help formula is easy to remember. We help who do what. That's it. Practice that sentence about your company before you go into any room. Because honestly, once you have that sentence ready, the whole intro gets easier.
Yeah, because that descriptor also tells people whether they're a potential client, a partner, a competitor. It instantly places your company in their mental map.
Perfectly said. Okay, part 4. And this is the one that makes the whole thing memorable, the hook.
The hook. Okay, this sounds a bit like a sales thing.
It's a little bit like a sales thing, but in a good way. The hook is one short sentence that gives the listener something to grab onto, something to ask you about later. Without a hook, your intro ends with your company name and there's a silence where no one knows what to say next. The hook closes that gap.
So it's like a conversation starter at the end of your intro.
Exactly. And there are 3 types. The first is the project hook. You use this in meetings. It sounds like, right now, I'm working on the product launch for Q3, which is why I'm in this meeting. It connects you directly to why you're in the room. Everyone knows your purpose immediately.
And the second type?
The reason for being here hook. This one is perfect for networking events or conferences. It sounds like, I came today because I'm exploring partnerships in the fintech space. Or, I'm here because I'm looking to learn more about product-led growth. You're not just saying who you are, you're saying why you showed up, and that creates an instant connection with anyone in the room who has the same interest.
Yeah, because if someone hears that and they're in the same space, they're gonna come find you after.
That's the whole point. Okay, and the third type is the connection hook. This one is for written intros, like an email. It sounds like, I'm reaching out because I saw your talk on customer retention last month, and it connected directly to a challenge we're facing. You're giving the recipient a specific reason why you chose them, not a random cold email, a targeted personal reason.
Right, the specific part is key. I'm reaching out because I found you online doesn't do the same thing as I'm reaching out because your article on remote onboarding answered a question I've been asking for months.
Night and day. The specificity is what makes the other person feel seen, and that's what opens the door. Okay, so let's recap the 4 parts before we go into the demos. Part 1, name. Part 2, role, 1 clean label. Part 3, company, with a we help descriptor if needed. Part 4, hook, 1 sentence depending on your context.
Name, role, company, hook. Got it. Okay, let's hear it in action. Context 1, the meeting kickoff. I'll go.
Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Harrington. I'm a marketing manager at Brandly. We help mid-sized companies build their brand's identity online. Right now, I'm leading our new client onboarding project, which is why I'm in this meeting.
That is so much better than the swamp version. Did you hear how clean that was? Name, role, company with the descriptor, and the project hook that tells everyone exactly why you're in the room. No fluff, no apology, no career history. Just 4 pieces of information, delivered clearly.
Honestly, it felt almost too short. Like, is that really enough?
That's exactly right. In a kickoff meeting, short is professional. Nobody wants a 3-minute intro when there are 8 people in the room. Your job is to give them just enough to know who you are and why you're there. Everything else comes out in the conversation.
Fair point. Okay, context 2, networking event. Lexi, this one's yours.
All right, so imagine we're both holding coffee cups at a tech event, and someone walks up to us. Here's my intro. Hey, I'm Lexi Marsh. I work as a product strategist at a consulting firm called Stratova, where we help B2B companies improve how their product teams work. I'm here today because I'm exploring how more companies are using AI tools in their product planning process. It's kind of the question I can't stop thinking about right now.
Okay. See that last part? It's kind of the question I can't stop thinking about right now. That's the hook doing its job. Anyone who works in AI product tools is going to want to talk to you. And it's warm. It doesn't feel like a business card.
Right. Networking is different from a meeting. A meeting is professional and focused. You want to be crisp. A networking event has a social layer to it, so you can add a little warmth, a little personality. The structure is the same, but the tone is more open, more like a conversation starter, and less like a report.
Yeah, and you said hey at the start, not hello, my name is Lexi Marsh, I work at. You match the energy of the room.
That's register awareness. We talked about this in the intro. Same words, different room, different energy. Okay, Tom, context 3. Written intro email. Your turn.
Dear Ms. Cotto, my name is Tom Harrington, and I'm a marketing manager at Brandly, a company that helps mid-sized businesses build their brand identity online. I'm reaching out because I read your recent article on brand consistency in fast-growing companies, and it directly addresses a challenge we're working through right now. I'd love to ask you one question if you have 10 minutes this month.
Okay, that ending. I'd love to ask you one question if you have 10 minutes. That is an underrated move. You're not asking for a big meeting, you're not being vague, you're making it very easy for the person to say yes. And the hook, your article directly addresses a challenge we're working through, is specific and personal. That person is going to read that and feel like you actually know their work.
Because I do, or I pretended to, which is basically the same thing in this exercise. But seriously, the email version felt slightly more formal than the networking version, but it's still personal because of the hook.
And that's the key insight right there. The framework is always the same. Name, role, company, hook. What changes is just the hook and the tone. In the meeting, the hook connects you to the project. At the networking event, the hook is your current curiosity or goal. In the email, the hook is a specific bridge to the recipient.
Mm-hmm. Same skeleton, different clothing for different occasions.
I love that. Same skeleton, different outfit. Okay, and speaking of practicing this framework, Tom, you want to mention the tool?
Yeah, so if you're sitting here thinking, I get the framework, but what does it look like for my actual job at my actual company? Here's a fast way to practice. Open ChatGPT, it's free, and type something like, write me 3 professional intros for a marketing manager at a small startup. One for a kickoff meeting, one for a networking event, and one as an intro email. Use a 4-part framework: name, role, company, hook. Then swap in your real details. You'll have 3 drafts in about 30 seconds.
And just to be clear, we are not sponsored by ChatGPT. Nobody's paying us to say that. We both just use it. It's free, and it's one of the fastest ways to actually apply today's framework to your real-life situation. The goal isn't to copy what it writes. The goal is to see the shape of the thing and then make it sound like you.
Yeah, use it as a draft engine, not a replacement for your own voice. Read it, adjust it, say it out loud a couple times, and then it's yours.
Exactly. Okay, and I want to end this part with something that I think is really motivating, because we've been talking about this as a skill you're building from scratch. But the truth is, this framework already exists all around you.
What do you mean?
And once you start hearing it, once you know the 4 parts, you will start noticing it in every meeting, every conference, every professional conversation. Every confident person who introduces themselves naturally uses some version of name, role, company, hook. It's not always perfect, it's not always in the same order, but the building blocks are always there. And once you hear the pattern, you can't unhear it. It becomes a kind of superpower.
That's actually a really good point, because it means every meeting you're in, even when you're not the one introducing yourself, is a free lesson. You're watching other people use the framework, maybe without even knowing it.
Free lesson every single time. And the best learners, whether it's in English or any other skill, are the ones who turn passive moments into active observation. You stop just being in the room, you start studying the room.
Okay, I think that's a really elegant way to close this out. So to wrap up the main content, the framework is always 4 parts: name, role, company, hook. The first 3 parts stay almost the same in every context. The only thing that changes is the hook. You pick the right type of hook for the right room. Project hook for meetings, reason hook for networking, connection hook for email.
That's it. Learn the skeleton once, and you can walk into any room, in any language, and introduce yourself with confidence. No more swamps.
No more swamps. I'm putting that on a t-shirt.
Please do. Okay, before we go, we have a question for you. Drop your hook in the comments. Just your hook, 1 sentence. Tell us, what are you working on right now, or why did you show up to this episode today? We read every single one, and honestly, it's the best way to practice. Writing it once makes it real.
And if this episode helped you, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. We put out new episodes every week, and each one is one practical skill you can use in real English conversations at work.
Learning a language takes courage. Seriously, showing up, trying, making mistakes, and coming back anyway, that takes real courage. So if you're here, we're proud of you. Keep going.
Thanks for listening to Say It in English. We'll see you in the next one.
See you next time. Bye.